Hi, this is Divyaa Pandit, your tarot card reader, spiritual healer and life coach. So, today's topic is trust. Trust is something which everybody would want to hear, and I feel that according to the comments and what people have been telling me, writing down on my YouTube videos and my Facebook page, and I have been noting down all the small little points which people write and they say, and recently I have also started posting on Tumblr, which is not very big article, little small little things that I think I'm not a writer, I just put down my thoughts. So right now also I was writing something and I decided to make this video for you all on trust, a small little video, not a very big one. I want to share my experiences on trust. So what is trust? The first thing I will say is trust is something that can take years to develop and minutes to break, isn't it? We take so much time to trust somebody, and then within seconds and minutes that trust is broken and shattered and it's all gone. Where does trust come from? Normally what happens is that we feel that trust normally comes from our circumstances, right? Trust can be the experiences in our life that we've had, right? If I ask somebody, suppose I ask you, where did your trust come from? How have you learned to trust? Someone will say, I am that kind of person, I trust everyone. Some will say, I learned to trust because my parents taught me to trust. Some will say, I don't trust. Dude, I don't trust. People are bad. I have people who actually WhatsApp me saying the world is bad, I hate this world, nobody is mine, I don't like this world. Why so much mistrust? Where is it coming from? Is it coming from your circumstances where you since very long time have seen people betraying you, your relationships, your girlfriend, your boyfriend has betrayed you, people around you have betrayed you, your family has betrayed you, your workspace, people have taken away your money. So many reasons for not trusting, and so many reasons, beautiful reasons for trusting. Me as a person, Divyaa Pandit, I trust easily. I trust people, and even if they betray me, I still trust. Why? Because I don't want to create that energy around me where I will go into that negative space holding my baggage. So the trust issue always comes from your past. Where does it come from? It's coming from my parents, it's coming from my grandparents, it's coming from my great grandparents. See, as children, okay, when we were very, very young, we had our learning period, and in that learning period, in those formative years of our life, where we learned a lot other things, we also learned to trust and not trust. See, when we are just around the house playing and we hear our parents talking, maybe they are talking about betrayals, they are talking about their problems, they are talking about how their family is not good to them. We hear our grandmothers talking, grandfathers talking. So what happens is, in that time when you are actually, when parents think children are not actually paying attention, they are paying attention. They actually hear and absorb everything that is spoken in the house. That is one very major reason for having trust issues, because my mother and father did not learn to trust, so I will also not trust. My father taught me not to trust because he got betrayed, I don't know, 1,000, 1 lakh, I don't know how many times in his life. So should it be my experience too? No. I have absorbed these thoughts, feelings and emotions from them. I have bought these thoughts, Because the first people that we trust in our life is our parents. When a child is born, when an infant is born, the first person you love, you trust is your parents. Your parents are those two people in your life you learn to trust. When a child is running, he or she knows that if I fall, my father or mother will come and catch me and save me, right? So your relationship with your parents will define how much trust you have in your life. Also, one other point I want to put here is that when a mother is pregnant and her own experiences, her own thoughts pass on to the child. Also, when her thoughts at that time, whether she really wanted to be pregnant, sometimes mothers have babies only because of circumstances or only because they are asked to have children, there are many marriages where people get married only because they were asked to get married, not because they wanted to get married. People have children because that's the way the tradition goes. You get married and you have children, not because it was a choice. So all the thoughts, feelings and emotions are passed on to the baby, and the baby is born, and those with the same kind of energy and emotions. That is also one very major point which I was noting down right now. Mother was suffering, her mother-in-law was troubling, mother had her own trust issues, her own inner child issues with her parents, and so on. It goes, it comes from your whole ancestral problem and lineage, and it is passed on to the baby. So your trust issues, the first person that you trust in your life is your parents, and when you have a problem in that area, you will always face trust issues. You will wonder how. Well, when we grow up, okay, when we come in a teenage, when we have friends, we see our friends betraying us. We see when we grow up more, we see our girlfriend or boyfriend betraying us. When we start working, we see our colleagues betraying us. We will experience, see, it becomes like a vicious cycle. Once I have developed a trust issue, I will always meet people who will betray me. The reason is the subconscious level. The subconscious level has absorbed that energy in my childhood that people will betray you, and that is the energy I keep throwing. And the more I keep throwing, the more backstabbing will happen. The more people will come in my life who will be not the right ones. Okay, people with trust issues will never have trusted people in their office, in their business, as their clients. They will always eat up their money or say some lies to them. People with trust issues will always be commitment phobic because they are scared to open their heart. Because the first time they opened their heart, they were stabbed in the heart. So what will happen? They will never open their heart and tell that, I really love you and I want to be with you all my life, because they are not trusting that. So trust issues, people always will be commitment phobic. They will never give you the commitment in a relationship. Trust issues, people will always marry the wrong person so that the marriage breaks. Now you will tell me how? Because I am throwing that energy of not trusting that person somewhere, and that person mirrors it for me. My own emotions, my own thinking, that person will mirror it. And when that mirror comes, we realize even more that we should not be trusting people. So what is the solution? 90% of time what happens is people who have major trust issues turn into cheaters themselves, because the major thought in their mind is that before this person cheats me, let me cheat him and go away. Yeah, that's true, absolutely true. So you are not trusting, and that person is also not trusting you. It's not just you. You're meeting exactly the same kind of person in your life the way you are. And then you get into this vicious cycle. Like, I'll tell you an example of my client who had such a major heartbreak at the age of 16. He loved that person from all his heart, and that relationship went on till 18, 19, and he realized that she betrayed him. But where did it start? So after I did the digging work with that person, it started at the age of, 4 years old, I think, 4 or 5 years old, where he was physically abused by his uncle. This is also one very major problem with trust. When you as a child get physically abused, sometimes there are family members, in fact there are more family members who abuse you, who touch you wrongly, be it a girl or a boy. That is also the first time you learn that I do not want to trust. And when it goes into your subconscious level, you will always wonder, when you meet someone, you will always wonder whether I should be trusting, will this person treat me properly, I should be careful. Like that trigger will happen in your mind which happened in your childhood. It will keep triggering, and then you will create more energy of mistrust, right? So abuse is also one of the very major reasons why you meet wrong people in your life. You have people who betray you, backstab you, because you have not learned to trust. And there are children nowadays, I feel it's more open and better, but there was a time where children never used to share it with their parents, that I got wrongly touched, I got abused. The abuse could also not just be physical but mental. Your self-esteem, your unworthiness starts integrating in you, in your subconscious, and that's how the whole vicious cycle starts. So what do we do? How to heal this trust problem? It's not easy. It's easier said than done, right? If I tell you that come and I'll heal your trust issues, will it be easy? No. I tell you, please heal your trust issues. You'll say, dude, how? How should I do it? I'm not able to even think straight. I'm confused. I'm not able to recognize people, whether they are right or wrong, right? So the first thing that you need to do is release your baggage. I have mentioned it before in many of my videos that releasing of baggage, you have to do it on the new moon day with a black candle, or write down all your past issues with a pen and paper, any color pen. Just write them down. This happened to me. Even your abuse, your whatever trauma, your anything. I had a girl who had major trust issues. She met only cheaters in her life, only because one day when she was out with her mother on a holiday, and her mother, while shopping, forgot her in a shop. In that thing of her shopping, she actually forgot her for 2 hours in a shop. Not that she got abused in that shop, but that feeling of that 2 hours of being left and abandoned, and that fear instilled in her so badly that after 2 hours her mother came and picked her up. But that 2 hours of trauma she faced, she was lost, she didn't know where to look, where to go, and she kept crying for those 2 hours. Stayed with her a lifetime, with a thought that people leave me and go away. And this thought, she couldn't trust her mother after that. And this thought stayed with her till all her life, where she met the first person she met in her life, left her and went and never came back. Not that he didn't want to come back, but this is the energy she was throwing so that he doesn't come back. Very later in life she realized that the problem was within her and she healed, and now the situation is much better. She is my client and she's much better now. But these are the few things that happen in your life and which you need to understand how to deal with it. So how to deal with it? We need to release our baggage. If you have been abused as a child, remember one thing, you were a child and you felt very powerless at that time. That situation is not there now. Now if somebody touches you, you are going to give a punch on his face. You have to be in your power. Being in your power means feeling powerful. Okay? You have to feel powerful. First of all, I would like you all to do is forgive yourself. Normally what happens is people with trust issues have so much of fear and guilt inside them, they always blame themselves at times. Unconsciously, consciously, they do blame themselves. So what you're going to do is you're going to forgive yourself. The best way to forgive yourself and heal this past karma, past baggage is to do Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono is one of the very powerful prayers. I have mentioned it, I guess, before. I don't remember. It is a Hawaiian prayer and YouTube is full of it. If you type Ho'oponopono, you will find thousands of videos on it. Ho'oponopono is one of the best and the most powerful prayer that you can tell yourself. Here you are healing yourself. So you are going to keep one hand here and one hand here. Okay? Every night before sleeping. Every night just before you go to sleep, 21 times for 21 days. You are going to tell yourself, first you take a deep breath. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. This is what you're going to tell yourself. And you're going to bring in focus in your mind at that time that I'm releasing my past baggage, past experiences of not trusting and being betrayed and being put down at that time. And while this prayer is on, you will say, I'm forgiving myself and forgiving the person who, because of whom this trust issue has started. It could be your parents, it could be your grandparents, it could be, if you don't know where it's coming from, suppose. Just say whoever, to whoever it may concern. To whoever it may concern. I am saying this prayer for that person. And that issue, that experience that has come to me. And believe me, after you do this, you will start seeing the changes within you. You will always meet people whom you can trust, who will never leave your side, who will always be honest to you. This is not just going to take 21 days. You have to do a series of 21 days, till you start feeling the change. It will take some time to release the baggage. It will take some time to come out of it. So another technique I will tell you how to deal with this situation is creating a crystal grid. Now I have not prepared myself to make a grid for you, but I can explain it to you how you can make it. Take a circular cardboard. Take a cardboard, cut it into circular, or a wooden plank. Either a cardboard or wooden plank. You cut it into a circle, okay? Stick a white paper on it, plain white paper on it, okay? The crystals that you will take is Rodhocrosite, black obsidian, okay, and green aventurine, okay. These 3 crystals, and also rose quartz, 4 crystals. Rodhocrosite, black obsidian, rose quartz and green aventurine. 4 crystals you will take. On that grid, you are just going to make a clockwise, you are going to keep all these crystals with the intention. Now what you are going to do is, one of your main crystal is going to be black obsidian, okay. Now you will hold the black obsidian in your hand and you will put an intention of helping you. See, this grid is not going to change your situation, but this grid is going to help you to heal yourself. When you are doing the Ho'oponopono, At the same time, if you make this grid, it is going to give you a support, right? So you can make a small one also, not necessarily you have to make a big one. Make a small one. Take a small cardboard piece, thick one, or a small wooden plank which is cut in a circular. Okay, we've put the white paper. Take black obsidian as your main crystal. Keep it in between. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a two-side tape, the double side tape which sticks on both the sides. You're going to stick it in the middle and you're going to stick that black obsidian on that. Okay. Now people say that you shouldn't stick, but I feel if you don't stick, it will fall. So you have to be practical. With the intention, you will stick it in between, and rest again you will take a few pieces of small pieces of black obsidian, Rodhocrosite, green aventurine and rose quartz. In a clockwise you are going to keep those crystals again with the same way. Cut the small pieces of double side tapes and stick it around it. A very simple grid. Your main intention is in between and the other are helping you, giving power to your intention. So when you are giving power to that intention which you have kept in between, is going to help you even more with your trust issues, releasing your baggage and changing your perception. When you are doing Ho'oponopono, with that you make this grid. I have this on my Tumblr also. I have this small article which I have put on trust issues. So you can go and follow that and read it again if you want. And you can make that small grid and keep it next to you, next to your bed, or wherever you sit the most. Only problem is crystal grids should not be touched by anyone. Not your servant, not anybody in the house. Okay? It has to be separate and special only for you. That is why I suggest make a small one. A small one which you can shift. If you feel somebody is going to touch it, you can keep it, or keep it somewhere above the cupboard or anywhere where nobody is going to touch. But it has to be open, not inside a cupboard, and it has to be somewhere where you are there all the time. Okay? So this is something that I wanted to share. Also, I will like to tell you an affirmation which you can either put it in an energy circle or you can say it all day long to yourself, or write it down with a red pen in a book every day. The first affirmation is, I am powerful and loving to myself. I am powerful and loving to myself. I am fearless and have nothing to fear. I am powerful and loving to myself. I am fearless and I have nothing to fear. Okay, you are going to write this in an energy circle with your name in it, or you will just chant it the whole day, telling this to yourself. Being in your power is the only way to release your trust issues. If you can trust yourself, you can trust others. If you can trust yourself, you can trust the universe. If you can trust yourself, you can trust the God that you pray upon to every day. I know people who will have trust issues, who will sit in front of the temple, pray all day and say, kuch nahi hota hai. Nothing happens. God is not listening to me. So these are all the side effects of not trusting. So guys, I hope you like this video, and do comment below and let me know. I will make more and more as to your requirement, and do subscribe my channel. Don't forget, do share it with your friends and family. Go on Facebook, like my page, go on Instagram. I am going to be putting, I have taken a gap, but I will be putting a lot of spiritual tips there also. And call me for personal paid appointments only. Anytime you need any kind of healing for trust issues, I do a lot of healings, personal healings, distant healings. Do let me know. That's all for today. Goodbye. God bless. Bye-bye.